It's my life.
This is what we train for. Let's go, baby.
When you hit this kid, he's gonna remember.
A lot of people ask, dude, what do you do for your condition? How come you never get tired and stuff like that? And I tell them the same thing. I'm like, if you can't go 15 or 25 minutes hard, you're in the wrong sport. You need to go do something else. You know, it's probably not for you. It's pretty simple, you know, equation. It's not, there's no science behind it really. The more time you take breaks, you think about things. I think about things too much. My mind wanders and it's like, all right, now I'm getting tired. When you just blast through it, before you know it, you look at the clock, you're done. We're about 3 weeks out of the fight now. We're about to peak, you know. We're here at the gym and we went through just a quick 30-minute rigorous workout. We did, you know, some box jumps, explosive push-ups. We ran the tread sled, some sprints, just different things that Coach, she always mixes up. Kelly Teakin, she's definitely gotten me much faster, much quicker, more explosive than I was in the past. She's always focused on, you know, power and explosion. We're all about, you know, quick movements, stuff like that, explosive power, and things that are really going to get, you know, me set up for my fighting style, which is, you know, taking guys down, posturing up in the guard, and firing big punches and elbows and stuff like that. Since I've been, you know, at Greg Jackson, Mike Winkle Johns, I feel like a more polished fighter. You know, they're not trying to reinvent the caveman or reinvent the wheel. You know what I mean? They just know I have a lot of skills. It's just a matter of polishing some things, you know, and I feel so much more confident than I did just going out there and kind of slamming guys around and, you know, stuff like that, taking punches and, you know, the hair flying and stuff like that. So I feel a lot more confident in my abilities. They're just adjusting a few things.
Clay can outgas anybody out there. But there's no reason for him to go 3 rounds all the time. He has that potential to hurt people. He just got decided that he wants to do that. Sit down his punches and punch through his opponent, and then if they're still standing, then take him down.
A lot of people think, Guida's, you know, he's just going to take you down and lay on you, or he's going to ground upon you, but people don't realize, you know, that I do have power in my punches, and I'm going to continue to show that in this next fight. That was for you.
I'm really, really excited about Clay's improvement. This is the first camp that we've done with him where I really see a marked improvement. So we're in it to win this fight, but even if we lose it for some reason, he's made such big improvements that he's on the right path, and I'm gushing about him just because I've never seen him look this good in practice. Not leaps and bounds better. Rafael Dos Anjos is a very tough southpaw Brazilian. He can mix it up on his jiu-jitsu on the ground. He can mix it up to standing. So he's a really dangerous opponent.
We think that Dos Anjos is going to try to bring the fight to the cage and try to hold me down right there and, you know, posture up and try to submit me.
I think it's going to be a great test for Clay to see where we're at and where we can go, and it's going to be a really exciting fight because, you know, Clay Guida always brings it. There's never a fight that he's not in that's just not fight of the night.
It's not what I was lacking. It's just some things I wasn't putting together. Now we are, and we're a well-oiled machine.
UFC welterweight John Fitch, and I'm going to show you a transition off of a triangle if I can't finish my triangle. If I get into my triangle position here, and this guy's smart and has a solid defense, his head's up, his elbow's in, I can't get to the other leg to finish. He's got blood going to his brain on this side of his body, so he's going to be able to wait me out here. If I hold this too long, my legs will gas, get tired, and he'll be able to ground and pound me out. So from here, I want wrist control, and then I want to come and attack under his leg here, around the calf or towards the foot. Once I get to here, I'm going to kick and extend my left leg to create distance and isolate the right side of his body. He's got no post on the right side of his body now. From here, I continue to kick and take the leg over my head, keeping wrist control, sitting up. From this position, I want to sit back towards the legs and take side control. Doing damage on Bob. If you're training for a fight, try that. If you're not, don't try that at home.
Hi guys, this is Matt Hughes from the UFC. I'm here with Jeremy Horn, and I'm going to show you my favorite guard pass. When I opened the UFC magazine for the first time, I saw that I had the most guard passes in UFC history. This is one I can actually credit for Jeremy. He showed me probably 10 or 11 years ago, and it's great. It's a very, very high percentage guard pass. Here I am. I break Jeremy's guard, and I tuck a leg into a half butterfly. As I'm looking at Jeremy, I've got the left side tucked. I take my right hand and underhook so I can control Jeremy's right side. I also keep my head here where Jeremy cannot key lock my arm. If I don't have my head here, Jeremy can come up and get a key lock on me. So here I am. I shift my hips to the left, and I take and I push my hand down on this leg. I can do this a couple ways here. I can come with my right leg all the way over and pass, or I can push down and come with my other leg right here into a full pass. The whole time keeping control of Jeremy's far side with this underhook. And that's my signature move. Thanks for watching, guys.
Hi, I'm Roy Big Country Nelson. This is the Las Vegas Armbar, and this is an exclusive with the Las Vegas Country Club. Put your foot on the hip, right leg chops down, left leg comes up, hips come off the ground. See how his arm's like a slot machine, and then I'm just gonna yank it off. Put on his hip, pin, turn, squeeze your knees, and then just yank down on the arm. And then you get the jackpot.
Hello everybody, I'm Chael Sonnen and I want to go over a jab today. Now a jab may sound like a simple technique, and it is, but it is the basics that are going to win championships. The key to a jab, it is done with our lead hand, meaning if I lead my right leg, my right hand is my jab hand. Emphasis on a jab is simply to make contact with our opponent. You'll hear a lot of talk of where the finger should be, where our thumb should be. Should it be up? Should it be sideways? Should it be down? The key is to just make contact, measure your opponent so we can set him up. That's what a jab's doing. The key to a jab isn't the offense, it's the defense. My hands are protecting my face, so when my hand leaves my face, I need to protect myself defensively with my shoulder. My shoulder replaces the hand, my opposite hand stays up near my cheekbone to protect myself from strikes from the opposite side. Right here I'm protected, and I can also strike my opponent effectively. I'm Chael Sonnen, this is a jab, best of luck.
Hey guys, it's Roy Nelson here. Day of weigh-ins. I just finished doing a pre-weight. Checked my weight, I'm right on at 266, so I should be good by the time we head over there and, pee a couple times. I'll probably be right under 265. So we're gonna be actually heading over there right now.
I'm looking for you. I heard you lost some weight.
I have to.
How much you lose? 2 pounds?
No, I should be right on right now. I'm gonna go cut weight. I'm gonna go pee. I think I'm fighting for the title right now. I mean, Junior's definitely the guy that everybody's kind of ducked, he's ran through, pretty much the heavyweight division. He's almost cleared it all out. Yeah. So for me to get the chance to go against Junior, I think it's going to be a great fight, and I just can't wait to hopefully be the #1 contender.
Yeah, definitely. That's all I have.
So focused, man. What do you think about your opponent? Strike Force.
I'm not too worried about him, to be honest with you. In fact, I'm not even training for him.
So why are you here?
You know what? Just wanted to check out some fights. I don't know. I asked somebody if I could get a ticket, and they gave it to me. We're ready to roll.
Did you follow Dana on Twitter to get it?
I met him at the mall.
You want to do a real interview?
Yeah, we're gonna switch it up.
Hey.
If you want, Roy. If you want.
The process of game planning starts as soon as you hear the name. Okay, we want you to fight this guy. Right away, my wheels are turning. Most of the people I fight, I know, I've seen, I've watched them fight. I immediately have an idea in my head of what their style is. And then from there, we go to watching tape. Let's see progression, oldest fight to newest. What areas do they seem to like to be in? Which fights did they lost? Where did they not like? You know, what's their conditioning like? What's the pace of their fights? Where are they dangerous? Where are they not dangerous? Kind of evaluate their strengths and weaknesses the best that we can based on that.
This is your time to work things in your mind, okay? I'm just gonna do mild resistance, okay? Let's go.
We come up with those situations that we think are pertinent to this guy in this fight, and we replicate those situations over and over and over again.
Good. Nice, nice. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Nice. Randy, as soon as you get something against the wall, think it's the fence, immediately go for that high single. Just drill it in, okay?
Well, we first got a call for a game plan. Then I look at the fighters, spend a lot of time watching tape on them, looking for what their preferences are, where they go when they're in trouble, where they go when they're winning, what moves they rely on, what psychology they rely on. And then I get the advice from all my other coaches and people that work with me, the fighters, everybody kind of gives me their 2 cents. I mix it around in a pot and it kind of comes out with what we all feel comfortable with.
To me, game plan is paramount. I'm under the close supervision of Greg Jackson and Mike Winklejohn. I have the two best guys in the business talking to me what I feel comfortable developing, game plans and things like that. They're not trying to reinvent the carpenter. They're not trying to, change me as a fighter. They're just trying to tweak some things to make me a championship fighter.
The whole process takes me 20 to 30 seconds. No, I'm teasing. It's a long process. You have to know your enemy and know yourself. It's contingent on what my fighter's abilities are and what they aren't, and how can we bring out the best in my fighter to bring out the worst in the other person. There's a lot to it.
First thing always pops in my mind, hey, I gotta do this, this, and this. But then after you go back and watch tape, usually you tweak it a little bit. It's two-way. Yes, I have the things that come right in my head.
Hughes comes out in the southpaw stance. That's because he wants to shoot.
Like against Matt Serra, I knew I wanted to stay away from his big right hand. So that's why I switched and went southpaw, and that way it circled me away from his right hand.
Hughes still in that southpaw stance. Well, I think by standing with the right hand forward, he's indicating that he's trying to concentrate on his wrestling.
I come up with what I think is my good game plan, but I'm not a great boxer, so I definitely take all the input from Matt Penny, my boxing coach, that I can, because he's so familiar with footwork and everything like that. So he comes up with a game plan on the feet.
Good. I gotta come to you. Don't sit too heavy on that front foot. Get back to 60. I gotta step to you. Good. Good. Trust that whip. You got that speed. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I feel like you're up here because you're trying to overcompensate, trying to meet me to it. If you're sitting back, you got that more control on that whip. Good.
In terms of the fighters themselves, I definitely do send them links and scouting reports of what I saw, what I didn't see, good and bad in each fight.
Offline, meaning going to your right. You know what I'm saying? Because it feels off, a little more off than moving to your left. So off is stepping off to your right.
But once they get one look at it, that's usually about it. I don't want them guys to fester on fight tapes over and over and over. They need to start thinking more proactively in terms of what they're gonna do, not what their opponents are gonna do.
Trust your motion. Like I said, if he switches at the last second, you'll hear me say step to him, basically.
He goes south?
Step to him, yep.
A lot of times if you focus too much on their strengths, you end up sitting back, being defensive, and never getting off and being first. The key is to exploit their weaknesses early and often.
Yes, I love it. Georgia. What'd you think that?
Well, listen, you can never worry about your opponent. It's a two-man sport, and you can't control him. You got to just take care of yourself. I work on one guy, and that's me. My skills are my skills. His skills are his skills. And I don't plan to shut down what he does. He's more than welcome to bring whatever he wants to the fight. But I'll do the same thing, and the better guy will win.
Yeah. My house, my time. It's our night. Hey, follow
Our night.
Here now, okay? Next step, guys.
Spring when you go, Clay. Spring. Good check. Good check. All the way in, all the way out. Okay, don't sit there in that range. Be relentless on those takedowns. Got it. Hey, set a pace.
You're constantly tweaking the game plan as the fighters go through camp. You can also tweak it in the fight. Like if things aren't working, you can ask them to do something that, as long as it's not outrageous, that they might have not previously thought of because you see an opening open up or you see the psychology changing.
Third punch. Third punch. Let's go. Get up. Show them what it is. Show them what it is. Hey, fight smart.
I think Randy Couture does it the best. That's why I look up to him. I kind of mold myself after him. He's had some game plans go sour in fights, and he knows how to adjust on the fly. You know what I mean? He just, he doesn't think about it, he just does it. It's one of those things you can't think about it, it's just got to be natural. If something goes sour in the fight, you have to be able to just, boom, snap of a finger, go to plan B and C, whatever it takes.
Brandon is muscling Randy here.
Give me some dirty boxing in there, Randy.
Good job. Here's the trap now.
I think I learned that ability to persevere even in the worst of situations and in tough matches from wrestling. I think wrestling is one of those sports where you can get taken down or you can be getting beat, you can still find a way to win.
Basically, that's the whole goal, is to create an instinct. Really, I always talk about telling people creating a presence, feeling where people are. It's no different than, they talk about that quarterback presence when the linebacker's coming up behind you and you just sense that something's wrong, something's there. So we give them, when I'm holding pads with them or when I'm having some of my guys work with them on the ground, I'm trying to give them looks that they're going to feel uncomfortable to where they can kind of, that sixth sense kicks in. It's like, okay, this is not right. And they can, change the situation and create a position that we're more comfortable with.
You have to be thinking about every situation, every possibility that might come into play in a fight. A good example of our flexibility with being able to adapt game plans was my last fight. I was supposed to fight Thiago Alves. 3 days out, the opponent got switched to Ben Sommers. It's somebody we go from a 5'9" opponent to a 6'3" opponent. We go from an orthodox right-handed opponent to a southpaw. It's a very big change. It's a lot of things you have to do. We were very able to game plan and change things around in 2 days and adjust for that fight and still do very well.
UFC middleweight championship is on the line. Ready? Let's fight! Here we go! Again! This is what Chael's best at. That wrestling background. And he's hitting him with some big shots. Catching him every time. He's got his back.
Sonnen, I think, really got him. He's trying to get a choke. He's scratching his booty. A lot of pressure. Now Anderson doesn't know what to do. He's just holding.
And Chael hits him again. And again.
Over and over again. He's getting punished by Chael Sonnen.
Anderson is showing a lot of heart, getting beaten. Anderson's taking a punch. They're just holding. They're waiting for the moment. He looks tired. He's beating up. Sonnen's just putting up a fight. He connected punching. You know, Anderson Silva, he left his guard. I know he doesn't have a so good chin, so he hit on the face and on the top of the head. So look like he's not recovering, and he's getting a beating. Look like Sonnen is putting his game. Every time Anderson's fight with people, he got in people's mind. But now this time Sonnen got on the mind of Silva. So let's wait and see. Now we're going to the second round. Look like they're giving advice. The Muay Thai coach is giving advice for Anderson too. Take the fight on the top, trying to clinch. They want really Anderson, I think, to move and hit it. Don't wait too much.
Back on the feet for the start of round 3. Big swing by the champion.
He's gonna spin kick. I knew he was gonna do that. Sonnen is like a machine right now. He just wants to take the fight to the ground and pound him. That's obviously what he was planning to do, but Anderson thought with the capability of wrestling he can stop him. The punch is not too effective from Sonnen, but he's putting the pressure. Anderson actually is playing smart. He's just trying to wait for a mistake that Sonnen is overdoing things.
As Chael Sonnen straightens out his right arm, be cognizant of that left arm. See how he's doing that? That's setting him up for an armbar.
Anderson is to effect when he got hit over here on the heads. Not look like he has a good chin, but every time he gets hit on the head, he goes down.
Oh, he tagged him! He got him!
Right in the back again. Anderson doesn't help him. Right in the back.
I mean, is it too early for Chael to start celebrating?
Now Sonnen has to look for triangle.
Triangle! This is trouble! Can he choke out Chael Sonnen? Can Anderson Silva?
Excited for Anderson. Anderson showed a lot of heart. He was waiting for his moment. And Sonnen is a warrior too. He was doing great. But you know, Anderson, he's a champion. He showed hard. He could have took a beating. He took the beating the whole fight, waiting for one moment. And Sonnen just gave it to him. Congratulations, Anderson.
For the winner by unanimous decision, Junior
Feel very good, and my first time I fight 3 rounds. My game plan was no goes to the ground, you know. He tried to put me down, but he was successful. Now I'm gonna fight for the title. I wanna fight for the title, and I think I will.
The game plan fell exactly kind of like we thought it would. The only change was I didn't know I would clip him from a punch into the front headlock. I knew going into this fight, if I was going to do a submission, that was going to be one of the 2 submissions I was going to catch him with. As soon as I locked it in, I knew I had that arm. I was like, this is over.
I don't think I've ever seen a guy go to sleep from this, and that's just the kind of power that Matt Hughes has.
Having seen a different angle on that choke, I think I might understand it now. How you're putting that pressure on that.
I'm driving my shoulder.
Well, and you had his arm almost behind his head, and then you were driving so hard on that.
An interviewer asked me years ago, what's your favorite moment from fighting? Well, the first thing that came to mind was winning the world title. But to be honest, there's thousands of moments with my cornermen that when I leave this sport, That's what I'm going to take out of here is my good time with my friends, and they're like brothers. I mean, if they would need something and they would call me, I would either be there or whatever it would be in the mail, and they know that, and they know if I need something, they would be there for me. So I mean, we have a good time, and yeah, we had a little wager on the line, so two of my corners get some guns. If I knock him out, or if I knock him down into a finish, he gets to pick out a gun.
Out of your collection?
No, I'll get it from somebody.
Okay.
I don't get rid of those. And then I said, that's not fair for Jeremy. So I said, if I submit somebody, Jeremy's my submission coach, he gets a gun.
Do they both get one?
So now it comes out, now we talked about it, and if I knock him down into a submission, they both get guns. So as soon as the fight was over, I look at my corner, what's he doing?
Where's my gun?
Two guns!
Takedowns weren't where I wanted them to be at first, and he keeps good pressure. We were trying to, I think I worried about the submission too much when I had him up against the fence, and I had a single leg and I didn't do anything with it. You know, I was kind of worried about taking him down, going into guillotine, but my hands felt good. I kept circling left, staying on the outside of his lead leg against a southpaw, and I landed some shots. He got some good inside leg kicks, and I started checking him and throwing that jab, you know, coming in and stuff, and then he kicked me in the knee a couple times. I could tell it hurt his shin, you know. We stuck to the game plan, and I got away from a little bit, but then, you know, we knew the takedowns and the ground and pound was going to be the key to victory, and I think it was. We landed enough shots on the feet to get, you know, into his guard, and I did enough ground and pound to just, you know, pass, get the half guard and kind of just sink in that choke, I guess. I just had him pinned up against the fence, and I was squeezing for dear life, and, you know, I didn't expect him to tap for me. I thought I was just kind of punishing him, you know, and then I think we put enough pressure on his jaw. He didn't want any more.
All right,
2 for 2, huh? It's about freaking time, man.
Game plan came in off without a hitch. Picking, moving, staying outside, drawing him in to throw heavy punches, hitting the relatively high-level takedowns.
All about John Fitch in the takedown.
You see a lot of guys failing, coming for shots at the knee or lower. It's easy to pull away and jump away from that. Focus more on getting inside, clinching, and using that clinch positioning and dominating. He had a good game plan too, I think, with his coaches. They were trying to draw me in to catch knees. I just stayed away from it though and threw some new stuff in, head movement, some body shots, some things they weren't expecting. I think I got the better of the knees in the fight also. What worked? Yeah, pretty much everything. I mean, defense was tight, so he didn't really catch me with anything flush at all.
Yeah, you're not marked up really at all, so that's great.
He's throwing a lot of power. He kind of.
Hey, don't forget to thank him for the wedding gift.
Yeah, I know. He's loading up on everything. So
yeah, he just wanted to knock your head off.
And counter jab
wasn't there.
I was catching my counter jab a lot.
And them knees. He didn't expect the knees. You out-kneed him.
And still, the undisputed UFC middleweight champion of the world.
I'm very, very happy for the new opportunity to Dana and Lorenzo. I'm sorry, my fans. I'm staying here for the fight. I'm staying here for my job, for my fans.
For a minute, I almost jumped up in the ring and kicked his ass myself.
Thank you, my trainings, my part trainings. Thank you, Todd, for night training. Thank you, Mark Munoz, my coach Georgianis, Nogueira brothers, my stepdad, ex-Fars, all the team.